So yeah, hi all. Hope I'm audible. So yeah, hi all. A very good evening to all of you. We will start session in a couple of minutes. We'll wait for other students and then we can start it. Thank you guys. So yeah, hello all. Hope I'm audible. Please give me the quick confirmation, guys. Once into the chat and Q&A. Yeah, please give me the confirmation. Yeah, so very good evening to all of you and welcome you all onto the day number 9. So today we are going to be cover machine learning for application and network security. So today we have Mr. Karthik, who will be the speaker for today's session. So I'm requesting to all the students, if you have any queries during the session, please use Q&A option to post your queries. So mentor will help you to provide the answers. So today we are going to cover machine learning for application and network security. For that we have a speaker, Mr. Karthik. So he will be take care for the today's session. So over to you, Mr. Karthik. Hello. Yeah, Karthik, over to you. You're not audible. And guys, please be interactive throughout the session. If you have any technical queries, please post it into the Q&A, and also you can post your queries into the Telegram channel. So now over to you, Karthik. I hope you're not audible actually. Guys, please give us 2 minutes time and then we can proceed. Thank you all. Guys, give 2 more minutes, then we can start the session. If you have any queries till now, you can just post it into the Q&A, and then like Mr. Karthik will proceed for today's topic. Thank you. Yes, so someone having query, like I hear there is an IBM AI ML program conducted IBM. Yes, CUH limit is over. How to further proceed? If your CUH got limit got over, so you can use like Google Colab in that case. And uh, there is a limitations into the CUH, that is 10 CUH for one account using IBM Watson Studio. So if you want to use, you can use same as like open source platforms such as Google Colab or Jupyter Notebook. There is still IBM account creation using feature code has issue. How to resolve it? We forwarded messages number of time, but it's still. Nirmala, if possible, can you please send the screenshot right now into the Telegram? What exactly the issue you are facing? If possible, please send it right now. Yeah, Karthik, I hope all set. So over to you, and you can proceed with the training. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm ready to. So, myself Karthik, and I am a security trainer and also a cybersecurity content creator. Okay, so I have around 3 years of experience working with network, mobile application, and network application security testing. So, I'm also expertise in performing vulnerability assessment, penetration testing, source code reviews, threat modeling, risk assessment, and hands-on experience of using tools like Metasploit, Wireshark, Burpsuit, IBM AppScan, HP Web Inspect, and etc. So today I'm going to take a session. It's all about cybersecurity. So what is cybersecurity and all? So let me share my screen. Yeah. Can everyone see my screen?
Yeah, Karthik, it's visible.
Yeah, fine. So, firstly, I want to say about what is security. Okay, so cyber security is a platform where we practice to protect ourselves or to protect the credentials or the information related data towards organization. So, firstly, in the security testing, we'll talk about what is information security. So information security means protecting information and information systems. Okay, so generally information security deals with the data related to the organization. So if we take an example as XYZ organization, so it holds lots of user credentials and credit card details and lot of information related to the users or employees. So if someone stole those kind of data, so if someone mishandles or some unauthorized access has been taken place, so what happens? So yeah, gently, so complete organization is at risk. So the main concept, information needs to be secured. So to protect the information secured, the information security takes place. So in order to protect data from unauthorized access, we use information security. Okay. So next, what are the qualities of information security? So there are mainly three components: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So confidentiality. So what is confidentiality? Confidentiality generally deals with the confidentialityness. So if uh, I had like the all user data of an organization. So I mean to like keep it confidential. So no one can see that, and no one can no one can use such kind of credentials. So I need to protect it. It is private, so no one can use or no one can look over the data. So that kind of data is confidential data. So it is private to only one itself. So such kind of data is nothing but confidentiality. So integrity is nothing but, if we take example as any software like WhatsApp. So WhatsApp, if we use WhatsApp in mobile application as well as web application. So if in the same time both the systems are using a single software, even in WhatsApp, so there the integrity takes place. So two individual users are using a similar system or similar software, so there is a integrity. So availability. So what is availability? So availability is nothing but the quality of data which is obtained from the organizations or obtained from the softwares. So if gently the organization data is directly visible on the web applications, and all credentials or some kind of data which is available directly on the web application. If we start attacking the web application, if we got any credentials like or any issues or any errors, so which can help attacker to directly attack the vulnerabilities. So such kind of things. So availability, the we need to take care of availability, so that if attacker tries to exploit the organizations or web application, so he cannot directly access the data. So the availability of data should be not provided, so it should be much complicated to an attacker. Okay, so moving to the next. So what is application
Uh,
security?
Sorry, Karthik. Sorry for the interruption. Karthik, can you please, like your screen is not fully visible. Can you please present it slideshow?
Slide. Okay, fine. Yeah. No.
Yeah, now it's fine. Yeah, you
No,
can
it's
proceed.
fine. Sure. Okay. So, one second. So yeah, what is application security? Generally, application security is the goal of the exercise is simply to find all the security vulnerabilities that exist in the system being tested. Yeah. So application security is normally deals with the security which is provided to a application, whether it may be a web application, whether it will be a mobile application, any kind of application. But a security is much more important to each and every application which we are using, and the applications which are developed for the users. So such kind of security is provided for the applications. So that is known as application security. So we are using WhatsApp example. If we take WhatsApp as an example, we generally chat with some other. So those kind of applications. So it need to be secured. If someone access our WhatsApp and reads our chats and misuse and some kind of issues. So to avoid those kind of things, the application security is much more important. So the main thing that separates a pen tester from an attacker is permission. Yeah, if authorized user gives permission to someone to access their data, so it is a kind of pen testing. So if someone's data is used or accessed without their actual permission, then it is, then those kind of users are known as attackers. So there are two types of testing in security analyst. So generally, security analyst, the pen tester, deals with two types of testing. So one of is black box testing and one is white box testing. So there is not more difference in between two of them. But black box testing is nothing but the pen tester will not be provided any credentials related to the organization. Uh, Instead, the pen tester needs to get the data related to the organization, and he need to gather the information related to the organization. But coming to the white box testing, so here the pen tester will be provided with the proper credentials. So it makes a pen tester to easily rectify the vulnerability and to find bugs in a example application. So yeah, testing may be followed into two types. One is manual testing and another is automated testing. So manual testing. So what is manual testing? Manual testing means a pen tester who manually, performs the assessment test and find vulnerabilities to a specific organization's web application or any other applications. But coming to the automated testing, here automated testing uses a software which helps pen tester to directly get the vulnerability list, so that he can easily identify those vulnerabilities and find to rectify those kind of vulnerabilities. So manual testing is nothing but pen tester himself does pen testing. But coming to the automated testing, software, there are many other automated softwares nowadays which pen tester as well uses for to to easy their work. So why is security testing required? The need for security testing, security testing is required. If coming to an example as an application, so we generally use daily for phone pay and Google Pay online banking applications. So here in this place, there need and must should be security testing each and every day. So daily lakhs of people make transactions from one place to another place or to destination. Many transaction goes on around us. So in order to protect those transactions, in order to hide the transactions details, uh, each and every parameter needs to be tested. So security testing in such kind of application is must and should. Some industries and types of data are regulated and must be handled securely. Yeah, likewise, which I have given the example right now is the best example for this. Okay. Yeah, what can and should be tested. Okay, so we generally have smartphones and smartphones and servers, firewalls and routers we use for wi-fi connections, and to use network generally we all use internet in our houses or offices, so we use this router. So routers needs to be tested. So software development like websites, mobile applications and games, these should also be tested. And telephone equipment like smartphones, VoIP and fax servers. So servers are the main important systems which needs to be daily tested, and up to date security should be provided for those kind of systems. So physical protection like CCTV cameras, generally we got a door entry systems, electronic door entry systems and mechanical locks into the existence. So those kind of systems also needs to be tested and should be protected. So basically anything that is connected or a means to connect to outer world, yeah. So any kind of electronic device which is connected to the internet should be tested, each and every parameter. Yeah, coming to the OWASP. OWASP is first component of security testing. It is an open source web application security project. So it is a non-profitable organization which provides security testing techniques for the pen testers. Okay, so it is software project was built by not only a single organization but individual corporations or educational organizations and individuals around all around the world. So all the people around the world, combinedly come up with the proper pen testing techniques and provided for the free and open source pen testing technique testings. Yeah, coming to the next. So other, rather than WASP, we also has SANS and the National Institute of Standards and Technology. Yeah. So what I was saying, OWASP is a security project. So these are the 10 techniques which a pen tester needs to test for each and every web applications. So first of all, injection technique, and next is broken authentication and session management. So third point is cross-site scripting, and fourth one is insecure direct object reference, and fifth one comes with security misconfiguration, and sixth one with sensitive data exposure, and seventh one with missing function level access control. So yeah, meanwhile these 10 techniques are main and use components which help pen tester to easily find the bugs and to to Pentester also make it easy to create a proper report according to the stepwise, category-wise techniques. So in this each and everything, coming to the injection technique. So injection technique is basically a technique where we use SQL commands or SQL payloads to bypass authentications or to bypass login credentials. So coming up with broken authentication and session management. So broken authentication and session management. So if you are a user and unauthorized access is being utilized to a specific user account. So the best example, I'll say that. So if you are buying a clothes in a specific store, so you had a proper bill and complete data with what time you bought and each and everything. So if an unauthorized person, bypasses any some privileges and by making authentications, if he reads all about your data, so at what time you went to store and what clothes you bought and what was the bill and what was the product, how you made a payment of credentials, so such kind of things. So broken authentication and session management, without having proper authorization, looking to the others information is comes under broken authentication and session management. Yeah. The next topic is cross-site scripting. Cross-site scripting is basically a script language in which we use JavaScripts as a payloads for to manipulate the servers, to get at the hidden directories or hidden files from web applications. So XSS is also one of the most important technique which we use in a, OS top 10 techniques. So insecure direct object reference. So insecure direct object reference deals with a fourth position in a OS top 10. So insecure direct object reference. So I'll give a best example for it. So if you are a account number one, so I am the account number two. We assume that we had account number three user. So without knowing user one and without knowing user three, if I make changes, which means if I send transaction about 10 rupees from the account holder one to account holder three, so here comes with the insecure direct object reference. So without having proper proper authorization, so proper authority, I just made a transaction from account holder one to account holder three, but instead I need to make a there is no proper authorization for looking such kind of things. But insecure direct object reference deals with those kind of things. If without unknowingly, if account holder one transacts to the directly to the account holder three, so in that case it is a misuse of misuse of the account transactions, and it may also cause for the risk management. So fifth technique comes with a security misconfiguration. Yeah, so misconfiguration. Generally, we use Google as a search engine, so we daily browse many of the things for gently to get the information, information resources. So if in a security testing, if we take an example as any application, so if you give request to the client interface rather than the restricted, which is unrestricted, those resources are displayed in the client interface. But if we want to get the information rather than the unrestricted things, which means restricted things, so here comes with the security misconfiguration. Attacker can misconfigure any of the parts related to the web application and can misconfigure it to get data or any kind of resources which are related to the web application. Sensitive data exposure. So name itself says that sensitive data exposure. If an attacker performs attacking for any web application, if an attacker gets successful of exploitation, so what happens? So the information related to the organization can be exposed. So if gently data related or credentials related data is exposed, to exposed towards the attacker, what happens? The organization is completely under risk. So attacker can misuse for those credentials, and he can do anything whatever he can. So he can change any of the things, he can change passwords, he can change or manipulate complete web organizations, oh sorry, organization's credentials. So he can mishandle everything which are present in the organization's directories or databases. Yeah. So missing function level access control. Yeah, here comes up with. So missing function level access control is nothing but if an organization consists of admin user and the local employees, about 2 to 3 employees. So it is a small kind of business organization. So if it has a web, application which which helps in displaying their content to the users, or such kind of things. So I had made, so one of the attacker makes gets the credentials of the user employee in that organization, and he gently what he does means, so he starts getting access of the admin resources. So if attacker gets successful of getting admin admin credentials, or getting authenticated for the admin, so what happens? So user has a limited or restricted kind of we gently say powers or anything. So he can make small kind of changes to its to general purpose users. But whereas admin, so he need to maintain each and everything which are present in that application. So he can change anything or he can manage anything. So missing function level access control means getting access from employee to the getting access to the admin level, or to increase powers of the access, so authorizations. So those kind of things comes under missing function level access control. Yeah. One second guys, let me have some water. Okay. Yeah, I'm fine. Okay. So cross-site script request forgery. It is the eighth technique which we use in OWASP top 10. So cross-site request forgery is nothing but an attacker gently uses a scripting language in order to bypass password credentials. So he creates a gently script code in which backside of the script, an attacker can inject any of the code. But if an user try clicks on such kind of scripts or any kind of links, so what happens generally, if the user is related to any organization, So when he clicks on such kind of links, or he gives any access to unauthorized access, gently. So what happens, indirectly, without unknowingly, the user credentials can be manipulated. Manipulation in the sense changing of passwords, changing of mail address. So any kind of things can be changed. Just clicking the link, any kind of attack can be performed. So such kind of things comes under cross site request forgery. So using components with known vulnerabilities, it's a basic level technique. So generally we all know that, yeah, nowadays, web applications or any of the websites has a captcha. So captcha is not nothing but a robot which scans that user is gently or not. So using components with known vulnerabilities, the best example is bypassing captcha. So attacker are restricted to with captchas. So here what the attacker does means, some using some attacking skills, he just try to bypass the captchas and get into the user accounts. So such kind of things are done, in known vulnerability. So the attacker already knows. So what kind of attack makes him get access to the user account. Yeah. So finally, the last one is unvalidated redirects and forwards. So it is the 10th technique in which we had in security project. So unvalidated redirects is nothing but the concept in which it tells, using some host header injection attacks. So what is host header injections? Later I'll explain you that. But if you are you are trying to access google.com. Okay, so if you are trying to access the google.com, instead of getting resources of google.com, if you get resources related to the gmail.com, what happens? What actually does it mean? So you are redirected from Google account to the Gmail account. So it's also a kind of attack in which the user attacker can mishandle your credentials in order to phishing attacks. He also can make phishing attacks. Phishing attacks are also the first example for this redirects. So generally such kind of things, these are the basic top 10 techniques in which we pen tester can easily work on how to get started with the pen testing from for a web application or an organization. Yeah, moving to the next. Yeah. So phases of security testing. So mainly a pen tester needs to has the following components. So what is planning and analysis? So information gathering, vulnerability scanning, vulnerability assessment, exploitation, and reporting. Generally, these components, each and every security analyst or a security tester, come up with the come up with the organization. So proper planning and analysis. So without having proper analysis or proper planning to get started for the pen testing, it is no use, it is of waste. So to have a proper planning, so proper analysis, first gather the information related to the organization. What kind of information you have gathered? So what is there any vulnerability in that directly in which attacker can use misuse further and can attack and can perform the attack towards the organization. So proper planning and analysis is must and should. So next one comes under information gathering. So just now I had said that. So information gathering, it is main component in pen testing. So each and every pen tester meanwhile first get started with the information gathering which is related to the web application or any other organization. So information gathering, firstly information gathering, getting all the resources or the all the data, getting analysis of all the data helps pen tester to find out at what place or at what path actually the infected bug present. Yeah. So vulnerability scanning. So I previously said that there are testing can be performed in two ways. So manual testing and automated testing. So vulnerability scanning is nothing but the finding finding bugs. So finding bugs, we can find bugs using manual testing as well as automated scannings. So vulnerability assessment, after getting information related to the vulnerability, so what we do, so we generally examine what kind of vulnerability is, whether it can be exploitable or non exploitable. So such kind of examinations are done under vulnerability assessment. So next one comes up with exploitation. So exploitation, what is exploitation? So so as a pen tester, I have got credentials related to some example organization or example web application. I have gathered information as as much as possible. So I also got a got a proper proper place or proper position where the vulnerability is present. So I just start exploiting it. So whether the the vulnerability is exploitable or it is a major major risk or major vulnerability. So to examine those kind of things, firstly pen tester exploits it. So as pen tester generally, you guys has a doubt, pen tester, why those guys exploit the vulnerabilities or exploit the web application. So generally, sometimes pen tester needs to exploit some vulnerabilities in order to examine, is that a proper proper vulnerability. In order to patch such kind of vulnerabilities, sometimes exploitation is also must and it should. So pen tester firstly examines or exploits such kind of vulnerabilities. If the pen tester gets successful of exploiting the vulnerability, then we can say that the vulnerability is the stages. We have vulnerability stages, so later on I'll explain what are the stages, how we will examine the examine the vulnerability related to the stages. So lastly we will come up with the report. So after after doing all the analysis and all the scanning, scanning up of organization, exploiting the vulnerabilities for getting proper bugs related to the each and every stage of the criticalness. So we find a pen tester finally creates a report, so in which organization can easily examine so whether the vulnerability is present or not. So to in order to get a brief brief classification or clarification, so a report can be made. So report generally deals gives a lot of information pen tester did towards the organization's applications or organization systems. Next one, planning and analysis. So we just discussed all this information gathering, gathering the information. Yeah, tools. So we use tools, these are all manual tools, in which we use nmap, burp suite, the harvester, google docs, webalizer. So these are the manual testing tools which pen tester uses for pen testing the web applications. Vulnerability scanning. Uh, yeah, generally we discussed about the vulnerability scanning, so it can be done manually and automatically. So we'll move up with the next slide. Yeah, these are our tools. For testing tools, we have two kinds of tools which are open for everyone, and some tools are commercial. So pen tester, each and everything cannot be done with the open source tools. Sometimes pen tester, a security tester always needs a commercial tools in order to get a high range of high range of scanning vulnerability list. So if how much as much as the pen tester gains the information related to the web organization or sorry web application, so it helps pen tester to easily examine all the vulnerabilities according to the criticality. So we use HP web inspect and IBM app scan Acronetics as a commercial tool. So it gives a lot of information related to the web applications. Yeah, vulnerability assessment. So as I said, again, test, working on with the vulnerabilities. Yeah, these scores are calculated using CVSS score framework. So common vulnerabilities scoring system. Previously I just said that we had stages for criticality. So to examine those stages, we use common vulnerability scoring system. So a scoring system which gives a proper proper stage of the vulnerability. So at what stage the actually the vulnerability is. So such kind of all things are gained from the CVSS framework. Exploitation. So generally in a figure itself we can see that exploitation. So a proper log can be destroyed, destroyed or break to to gain the access. Yeah, these are the exploitation tools. We use exploitation tools such as Metasploit, SQL Map, and Hydra. So Metasploit is generally used for getting shell access, and SQL Map is generally used for getting database get database accesses. Hydra. So Hydra is one of the best tool to get password to crack the passwords and such kind of things. Yeah, reporting. So after all the things, yeah, generally pen tester creates a proper report and handovers to the organization. So generally I just previously taught with that. So reporting means again all the information related to the vulnerabilities present in the report. Yeah, security basics. So confidentiality, integrity, availability, non-repudiation, authentication, and authorization. So these are all the basic security skills in which all these are kept into the mind, and the pen testers start working on it. So confidentiality, what are the confidentiality and integrity? So availability, authentication. Generally getting access into the user account is nothing but the authentication. Authorization. After getting authentication, what does we do? So we just start meshing up all the user data and just manipulate the all the systems. So authorization is nothing but after the authentication panel, we just said to be a proper author. Yeah, authentication and authorization. Getting access to the user account is nothing but the authentication. After getting the access for the user account, so generally yeah, authorized user or unauthorized user can start working on a same account. Yeah. Generally, so what is internet? Web application basics. So generally, to understand the web application, we need to have proper basics. So we will just move on with some while some kind of best techniques. So what is internet? So generally we all use internet for exploring much more, to get the information resources from from one. And also we use internet for sharing data files, all the documents from one place to the source to the destination. So user one to the user two. So we use internet. so in intranet is generally used for the private purpose. So mainly organization uses intranet, and all the users who are present all over the world uses internet. Yeah. uh, Web application basics. So generally we use internet for emails and telnet for sharing files and files from one place to another place. We also use FTP protocols. So far, FTP is nothing but file transfer protocol. Okay, so guys, we'll move for the demo. We'll just end up from here and we just move on to the demo. Okay, one second. Yeah, one second, let me set up myself. Okay. uh, yeah, One second, guys. Let me set up myself. So I can show you some demos. Demo for that. To understand. Directly understand what is cybersecurity and what actually means an attack. Such kind of things. Yeah. So everyone, I'm using Altero Mutual as my example web application for today's testing process. So let me show you how actually attack performs. So generally we use username, credentials, and password as let us type something Tom as a username and password as something. But generally, and sometimes these kind of credentials are also bypassed to get the authentication access. So how it is possible, let me show you. So I'll take 1 minute. So yeah. So if I click login, what happens? So let me click once. You all can see it. So yeah, actually, 1 second. Oh, sorry. I made it so wrong. Yeah. I think you all can see that just bypass the authentication credentials rather than using a proper credentials. I used some SQL payloads in order to bypass the user credentials. So now I am an admin of this web application, so I can use I can see all the recent transactions, and I can just can see the all transactions of this web application, each and everything. So what are those present in this web application? I can get access of it. So it is a kind of SQL injection attack in which attacker performs in order to get the access. So next attack, I just want to display you. So we'll just perform the cross-site scripting attack. So sometimes attacker gets the cookies of the related user accounts. So how does it possible? So let me write a script. Yeah. So here is my script. So when an attacker, sometimes wait, let me write some other script other than this. So let me write. Yeah. So it will be quite So let me click on go, and we'll see what happens after clicking the go button. Yeah, so what happened, actually many of times we get some kind of pop-ups. So you are hacked. So what happens? So if you click on the OK, so what happens? Your credentials are gone, your cookies are stolen. So your an attacker can get complete access of your user account. So generally your general users click on OK, what happens? We get no results for phone, but generally an attacker gets all the credentials on the what kind of attacker want to perform are performed, and complete your data is gone to the attacker. So in such cases, attacker can perform each and every stage of attack in order to get your user credentials. So let me show you another thing, brute forcing some user accounts. So this is my account. Okay. Uh, yeah, let me click on the user, edit users. Okay, so here we can see the edit user information. So in users, we'll see what kind of users we have. So we have 4 different kind of users: JDoy and JSmith, and Speed and T user. So I don't know what the credentials of these users. So let me show you some brute forcing attack in order to get the authentication process of these users. So let me bypass this user current. So let me check one of the username. So let me check up with the JSmith. We'll get the get authenticated for the JSmith. So let me sign off this. So I'm just sign out with the web application, and meanwhile I just start getting signing up with the user account. So here what actually I do: JSmith as the username, what we have seen previously. So password, I just don't know what is his password. So what shall we do in order to get authenticated to the user account? What shall we do? So generally attackers or pen testers, in order to find the vulnerability, just they just bypass this login credentials. So let me give some xyz password 1234 example, any kind of password. So what I just do is I just capture it. Yeah, don't save. So yeah, you can see, you can find the password and the username. Okay, so yeah, shit. Oh. One second, guys, 1 second. I'll show you. 1 second. Yeah. Yeah, everyone. So you have seen, I think so. Those are my personal payloads which I am going to use for to brute force the login credentials. So I just go to the positions. You know, let me clear up these all things here. Yeah. So I'm going to brute force only the password. So I just make mark. So payload. I'm going to paste my all my payloads. So I'm going to add, and I'm going to start my attack. So here I'm I have just started my attack. So wait a while so that the process can be done. After that we'll see what juicy information we got from this attack. Sometimes it takes some time in order to complete the process. So we'll wait for we'll wait for a minute in order to complete the process. The the software is stretching for each and every payload which matches password credentials. Wait a minute, guys. It's all about to complete the test. So complete the process. So here the payload section explains what kind of payloads I'm using and the status. Generally we all have HTTP status codes. So if we get a response from the web applications, we get different status codes. So you guys generally, I think, saw some kind of status codes like 404 not found or 403 forbidden. Such kind of errors are nothing but the HTTP server ports. So here status code 302 explains that we have found something, juicy information. So error is nothing but we don't have any errors in that. Timeout explains what how much time it took, and the length. So length explain how much length I'm using, how much length payload, payload length, and some kind of things are shown in the length. So we gently scroll each and everything. We look for what we found in this attack. So the software has tested multiple payloads in order to get the password. So yeah, okay. So let me click on the length. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So all, you can see that each, you can find each and every length as a similar, similar numeric value. But coming to the last one, we have got, two different, lengths. So let me check what it has. So instead of showing you that, let me check, show you a previous session. So let me turn off the intercept, and let me go to the browser. So here you can see that login failed. We are sorry, but this username or password was not found in our system. So let me show you some other juicy information. So going to this, what I just do, I'm just going to show in the browser, copy the URL. So let me paste here. It's done, you guys. I think you can see that what just I did. So we are authenticated user of this John Smith. So how does it can be done? So using some SQL injection commands, you can easily bypass the passwords. So these are some of the some of the techniques which the attacker or the pen tester does for finding the vulnerabilities at the user and password credentials. So these are the demo sessions, and let me show you last and final final demo of an attack. So let me we just go to transfer funds. Okay, so it could be some, it could also be a juicy, juicy attack, with what I was saying, my account, from account is my account, and to account is destination account. So let me click on the to account as 8003. You can find here 2 and 3 that there is a difference between the account numbers. So let me transfer about $100 from from my account to the user account 3. So what I'll do, I'll just insert my own. Yeah. So I just click on it. Yeah. Here you can see that they have entered the value, like sharing 100 rupees for user account 3. So now I can easily manipulate the amount transferred from user account 2 to user account 3. So generally attacker, what he does means, I just previously gave the online banking systems. So generally the attacker, what he does, so he just captures such kind of things, and just manipulates things. So instead of 100, he can make 2000. So what happens is, so I just make forward. I know here you can see what happened actually. Instead of transferring $100, in the meanwhile $1,000 were transferred from user account 2 to user account 3. What does it happen? So these are basic attacking techniques in which the attacker uses for in order to get a proper credentials, and in order to manipulate the servers or the systems. So this is all about the cyber security or the security testing, guys. So security is providing security for such kind of attacks or techniques. So it generally means protecting the data of the organization, so without losing or losing or yeah, exposure of the data of the organization or any of the web application. So such kind of things can protect them. So thank you, guys. That's all from my side. So I think, yeah, the session is completed. Yeah, yeah. Add some some kind of query for you. So do anyone have any questions or queries related to the topic? You can gently ask me whatever you can. everyone. Yeah, I have seen the Q&A questions from from the question bar. So let me give answers for that. No worries, if you have missed, previous sessions, so what should I do? No? Okay. No worries, further I'll, if possible, next upcoming sessions or, next training classes, I'll, or else I think you can also get, pre-recorded session or something, from your organizations. So, what are the specializations needed to become cybersecurity expert? No, specializations, to become, a proper cyber security expert, mainly need a proper, I previously explained you a proper, architecture for pen tester in order to, get a output from, proper output. So planning and analysis, so such kind of thing. But to become, a cyber security expert, you can learn OWASP top 10 techniques, and other, other techniques are also available using some, open source or commercial tools you can use. So you can, we cannot say that, what makes expertise. Using some, tools for, exploiting vulnerabilities or finding vulnerabilities, become, gives a brief idea about you, how expertise you are. Sir, what is that Bubsuit community that you are using? So yeah, Bubsuit is open source as well as, commercial tool, which is used, which is most useful, tool for, manual testing as well as automated testing. Sir, I have missed the previous session, so what should I do? Yeah, you can, contact your organization. So you can, attend your next upcoming previous sessions or so on. So what are the specializations needed to become cybersecurity expert? Yeah, firstly, getting started with the working on OWASP top 10 and other, other techniques. There are more techniques. How much we get interested, to learn the security, to learn security, security, testing. We generally need a proper interest. So if we get a proper interest, we can do wonders. So specializations generally refers, getting, web application testing, network testing, and mobile application testing, API testing. There are many more. But being as a beginner, or you can just start up with, web application testing or network application testing or mobile application testing. Yeah, that's all. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. So I think all your doubts are cleared. Okay. So shall we close up with our session? Everyone. Thank you, Nirmala. It's my pleasure. Thank you. Yeah. Let me close up. Yeah, Shivam sir. Shivam sir, am I audible? Yeah, it's about all to you, Mr. Shivam sir. My session, you can continue with the.
Shivam, you there? Karthik is done with his session. Jade, you there?
Yes, guys. So yeah, thank you, Karthik. So now we are taking open for the queries, and Karthik, I like we are getting some queries into uh, the Q&A. So I want that can you please also we take some queries. So what is the importance of ML in cybersecurity, Karthik?
So the basic importance of cybersecurity, getting protected of ourselves, and protecting data of ourselves, or and also protecting data of other organizations' data. So protecting data of organization is not a small thing. It's a great opportunity, and organizations always trust for the pen testers in order to secure the data and the confidentiality, like auditing logs and so on. So being a cyber security, analyst, so it's a great job, directly, we are directly communicating with the, organizations, authorities. So I think, being a cybersecurity, it's a great job. So the basic importance of this, gently I said, opportunities, generally software developers go up with the opportunities, but the opportunities, comes directly to the pen testers.
There is one question before that, like what are the specialization needed to become cybersecurity expert? Yeah, Karthik.
Yeah, the basic specializations are nothing but, we need to have some certifications like CE, and CCNA. So such kind of certifications are required, to to be as a, cybersecurity.
Okay, sir. What is like work suite community that you are using at that particular moment when
Yeah,
you suggest to them?
yeah. So Bubsuit is a Bubsuit is a open source tool. You each and every user can use for manual testing as well as automation testing. So Bobsuit generally captures all the data which our user, browsers into the web browser. So generally capture the data, and we just manipulate the data what we got. So we can manipulate it. Different types of, stages are taken in the Bobsuit.
Mhm. So, like, which programming language is best to make hacking tools? Python or Java?
Yeah, I generally use the Python, Python Java for developing hacking tools and all.
Any more queries, guys? If you have any queries, please let us know. If you have any more queries related with the content, please let us know. So we are open for all the queries, guys. If you have any query, please let us know. We will here to address your problem. Any more queries? We are open for the Q&A. Can we use Wireshark?
Yeah, you can use Wireshark. So generally Wireshark, it is used to capture the packets. Generally we use packets are used for sharing the files from your source to destination. So such kind of packets are captured by the Wireshark, and we can also manipulate the source. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, are open source software better for testing than paid softwares? Yeah, for, at a beginner level, each and every security analyst uses open source software tools rather than, getting expertise of using open source tools. We can further move on to the paid softwares. Any other queries?
Guys, if you have any more queries, please let us know.
Yeah, it's a network monitoring tools. Yeah. Yeah, actually, basically attacks are, happening through digital networking. So, in order to, rectify such kind of attacks, we use, networking tools.
They are asking like how they can do projects using this technique.
Yeah. Uh, 1 second. Yeah, yeah. You can using these tools. You can build up a project like TCP dump. Dumping IP addresses. Scanning IP addresses, looking for open ports. All these things are done. Using network.
Any more questions? Yeah, guys, if you have any question, please let us know. The best platform to make a hacking lab in cloud.
Sir, best platform to make a hacking lab.
Certification essential for becoming cyber security analyst.
Yeah, basic certificate to become a cybersecurity analyst, you need to have minimum certification, of CH or CCNA. So certification is required. So for learning process, you can learn, but if to be visible for the outsiders, you need to have a proper certificate. So outsiders should believe to you. So you need to have a proper certificate so that organizations also have a trust. So best platform.
Any more question, guys? If you have any more question, please ask. We are open to take your queries. Any more question? If you have any more question, please post your queries into the Q&A. Any more question, guys? Any more question? If you have any more question, we can we are open right now. So 5 more minutes, then we can wind up the session. Before that, if you have any queries, please post your queries into the Q&A, guys. If you have any more queries, please let us know. Any more queries, guys? If you have any more queries, please let us know. Then we can wind up the session. If you don't have any queries, we can wind up the session, guys. Still have, please let us know. I hope you get an insight about how cybersecurity and how work on to the different tools basically that are available for working onto the cybersecurity. So I hope it's clear for all. If you have any more queries, please post your queries into the Q&A. Otherwise, we are going to be bind up the session. You can use Telegram channel to post your queries. So our mentors will help you. So yeah, thank you very much, Karthik, for such a wonderful session. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah.
student, if you don't have any queries, then we can bind up the session. So thank you very much, Karthik, and thanks to all the students.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.